Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Artist Connection. I am your host, along with AJ1, and we're going to have a great show for you tonight. We have an incredible lineup, and we have some exciting things coming out with these poets. Up first to our mic is Kane Carter. Carter Kane, tell me about yourself, what you got going on in the community, what upcoming events you have coming up, and then bless her mic.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Right now, I'm kind of just blessed to be in the space, as we all are. I'm kind of up and coming. I've only been doing this whole thing for like a few months now. But I'm very happy to be here, and I'm always looking for new spaces to go and new people to meet. Um, you can pretty much always find me at the Black House Poetry in the Valley, um, for that mic. And I'm also going to be going to an open mic tomorrow in the Valley. It's Celia's open mic. My friend Celia, another member of the Spoken Heart crew. We like to have a good time there. It's a nice, intimate little place. It's at Barclay's Coffee Shop. So shout out to her. And yeah, we're just, I'm just kind of just doing the poetry for the sake of the poetry.
Okay, now bless her mic. Carter.
All right. So the first one I'm gonna do is one that I always like to do. This one's kind of a philosophical piece, and I feel like it's something everybody can relate to. So you've probably heard this one before, but I'm gonna do it again for the people at home. Conversations begin with looking someone in their eyes, and within seconds, our mouths are spewing lies. Because no matter the size of our pain, we disguise our lows as highs. We don't empathize, we customize our lives for others, improvise to hide the truth. So when people ask you, how are you? You can utilize your well practiced lie, I'm fine. You see, lies require sharp wit, and my silver tongue is sharpened to the tip, but the blade cuts both ways. Every use of the phrase I'm okay is a laceration. Every conversation is damnation. Every time I say I'm okay in translation means I don't want to burden you with feeling like you have to provide consolation. And it's gotten to the point where the sensation of solitude has become both salvation and starvation. Because my inaction is a deprivation of interaction. So, what would happen if instead we stop acting? Because in reality, life is duality. It is a fallacy to have joy without agony. What if casually expressing our pain became a normality rather than weaving a tapestry to hide our anxiety? And we don't have to treat every bad day like a tragedy. We all have them, so why not bring them up casually? Maybe we master our destinies when we practice our empathy in exchanging pleasantries. Instead of feeling our pain and pleasure separately, we can let them both flow through us to lessen the intensity. Our struggles are a part of our identity. So let us begin with truth instead of misdirecting. So when I ask you, how are you? Your answer better not be, I'm okay, because the question had silent letters. What I said was, how are you really? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Um,
so much for that piece.
Appreciate it. This next one.
Well, we're
Uh,
gonna so
oh, you wanna?
yeah, so we go around.
Okay, I get you. I get you. I get you. Sorry.
Okay, thank you so much for that piece. I'm gonna pass the mic to AJ1. AJ, the mic's on you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Coming up on this mic is someone that there's so many things to say. She is so hard and she's so soft. She is unassuming when you see her on stage and she knocks out everything. This woman right here is the trap poetry champion. She's a published author and she's going to talk more about that. I love the mixture. See, we love Lauren Hill, we love Jill Scott. The mixture of going in and out between poetry and singing, he's so cold. One of the hardest that I, and when I say hard, you know that's nothing but a compliment and nothing but respect for me. She's so hard and so cold blooded, and it's great to finally see her back on. Um, but you've been here every week. You've been showing up every week, just posted up and just showing support to everybody. So now it's time that you come back and deliver it to us. What's going on, Queen Quani? Let's
Hello,
go.
hello. Thank you for having me again at the Artist Connection, my favorite virtual place to spit my poetry. I'm doing grand. I quit my job my last day on Saturday. We started a new venture in life. We got a book coming out, book release August 27th, and that is also my birthday. So be on the lookout for the invite. And let's do some poetry. This piece right here is in the book. It's called Church. So when they said to come as you are, I'm assuming they expected me to change before walking through the doors. What my mohawk shows defiant. Better straighten it out and lay it down like the rest of my burdens before entering the house of the Lord. Clearly, come as you are means something totally different here. My skirt too short to sing in Sunday's morning's choir. I guess I ought to take my praise and worship back to my shower or my bed where I'm accepted fully naked, baptized in the holy name or not. Guess all this fabulous makes it look like I got the devil up in me. I ain't jumping for joy at all this judgment. I better clap my hands and wave them. They're watching. Bet they think because tears are falling down my eyes. That means the joy has been taken, but joy is in me now. I'm not waiting till the morning. Deem me heating because I smell like a Jamaican. They don't even bother to get to know my name. Just want my tithes and offering, hoping I come back. But I think I'll just pray at home or in my car like I usually do and not just on Sunday. That piece is called Church. Thank you.
Now, Queen Kwani is like AJ said, cold. One of the best to ever do it. She needs to brag on herself a little bit more, right?
Oh,
Mm.
She has a book coming out August 27th. It's on a Sunday at 4 p.m. And we're going to do it real, real big. Of course, I'm cooking, I'm chefing it up. At her event. So it's going to be some delicious food, great company, um, amazing poetry, and it's also going to be a competition. So we're going to have an open mic. So whoever wins the open mic is going to be crowned either the king of the open mic or the queen. So, and it's a cash prize. You have to come out and support and also have some fun. But next up to bless our mic
Uh,
is
wait, wait, can I introduce?
yes.
Can I introduce, please? We got to go against the grain this time. Now, this is all brand new. Drea asked me to be in this, and I loved it so much. I stayed here. Like I spent the night and never went home. You know what I mean? So that means that everybody's brand new to me. Carter Kane, Brother Woody, Queen Quani, I heard her and I love her. But this brother here, when people say, y'all might have heard this before. And every time I'm like, nah, I ain't never heard it before. It's the first time I heard you. This brother here, I might have heard a good 100 pieces, a good 100 written that day. Within 3 minutes, we have done rooms together on Clubhouse. This brother, whenever there is a poetry slam or a competition, it's over with. That's the cat that's getting the first place. He's gonna tell you more about himself, but this is my brother for real, for real. This is sincerely yours. What's up, man? Well, the one thing about sincere is his Wi-Fi. His Wi-Fi been tripping for a good 2 years. Jump out, jump back in.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring you to like Denver or St. Louis or something. We're gonna have to make sure that we can't be shortchanging this. Yeah. So the brother, let me tell you this. When I first started doing poetry, I had a super alliteration. I was highly rhymed up because it was built and born in me. Growing up on Soul Train with my mother, that's all I had was Parliament Funkadelic, James Brown, Al Green. I'm 5, 6, 7 years old, growing up in that. And when it came to rhythm, it was encoded in my DNA. So when I first got introduced to poetry, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted triple, quadruple, quintuple rhymes in one line. And I was super alliterative. And my wordplay and rhyme schemes were just so wild that I said, I'm gonna have to tone this down. If I want other people to hear and understand and appreciate, I don't need to super rhyme. You know, I need to let this lay. When I heard this brother here, I couldn't believe it. I said, yo, it's like looking at a time machine. And that's how, but this is the evolution of him continuing to do it. That's how cold blooded. He's a master of uh, uh, what's it called? Etymology. He's an etymologist. So in the meantime, while he jumps out, jumps back in, we're gonna bring Brother Woody, who's gonna deliver us where you been, where you from, what's happening.
I like to say some things before Woody start about him. So Woody is a poet's poet. He brings community together. He's a community activist. He does a lot of different things for his community. He's always been a really humble guy. He supports everybody. He has an anthology, 1619 Speaks. And I'm in this anthology. My Us poem is in here. So I send Woody a bunch of emails submitting my portrait. He like, hey, Andrea, I never got it. And so when I saw him in person, I'm like, hey, Woody, you got to hear my poem. He's like, well, this poem have to be in this book. And he made sure my poem was in his book. And I appreciate Woody for that and all that he does. He always shows up for his community whenever he can. Very hard working man. I met his wife, and that speaks volumes about him, how beautiful and giving she was as well. So I would like to introduce and bring up next to the mic, Woody. Woody, tell us about yourself, what you got going on in the community. Tell us about your book you had that just came out not too long ago, and then bless our mic.
Appreciate the opportunity. Woodrow Bailey. Everybody calls me Woody, which is fine. Fine. I mean, that's my real name. From South Los Angeles. This year, creatively, I put out my own book, Freedom, which on Vagabond Press. I got that out in February. I wanted to put the book out for Black History Month, and I was able to do that. Miss Andrea was at that she was referring to. Then I doubled down on it and was working on the anthology, 1619 Speaks Poetry, which came out in April. That was a concept and idea that I just a year ago came up with. And, the hardest part was to find 35 poets. At first, I didn't have a lot of poets that sent in material, and all of a sudden, it was a land rush of poets once we got the proper channels to promote the work. And so, as the editor of the piece, I had to pick 35 poets, and the whole premise of 1619 Speaks Poetry is those 36 poets, what African American poet, writer influenced you to become a poet or writer. So that was the whole premise of the book moving forward. So we have the book out, and we're going to continue to promote it during the year. And, probably next Black History Month, we're going to really do something with it as well moving forward. And what else? Miss Andrea speaks about, I have a nonprofit, Healing and Hope for Homeless, in South Los Angeles. We do grocery giveaways every first and third Saturday. So we'll be up this Saturday right on the corner of Norman and Gage in South Los Angeles. I've been doing this the last 22 years, giving away food from the Department of Agriculture and several other distributors. So it's a 501c3. So to make a long story short, everything that I do, my philanthropy, my employment, my creative stuff, all central focus into those who have no voice or no choice in society. That's my main mission statement. And so I'm going to do a piece it's one of the two pieces that's in 1619 Speaks, and it's inspired by a James Baldwin speech that he did in 1966 when he was protesting why they keep shutting African Americans out of certain venues. If you know the history of James Baldwin, he was a proponent of inclusion. So this one is on language, race, and the Black writer. I'm going to improvise as a writer, documenter, citizen. I'm going to breathe for change, born of the notion to speak a language freely. I was part of a tribe. I'm another Black scribe, writing, prose in midnight, prose in an abyss, prose in my culture. Music pounds my soul as spirituals, as blues, as jazz, as gospel, as R&B, as rap, as my contemporaries, as I think of. Our misery as social economic slaves, embarking on shifts of apathy, begging for civil rights, when no one wants to be civil. No conscience helps this new upheaval. The streets always smell like piss. Investigate the rebellion codes, insurrection, shootings, assassinating our icons, unbelieving. We all know what happened. Their stance is rebellious, push an agenda to raise children instead of Netflix, as we're still needed for entertainment, sports. Unions can't help oppression. Stop psychological inquiry. Black mama holds her child, hoping for justice as bullets. Don't watch out for them. Our ancestors are not mules. They were beaten, shackled, and raped. As this melting pot boils over, we know who we are. Rewrite those history books with fire so we can cancel alone. You don't know any color? We can't act like? We won't succumb to? We'll be better for our future. That statement doesn't clean filthy water in Jackson or Flint. Education is a machine with its own life, threatened with its own destruction. Corporate to engendify our ghettos. Greed paid for that involvement. Afraid of our pain, trouble, sorrow. Homeless in our bodies, minds, spirits. Patience. As no one seems to care. Beware. I resolve, she dissolves, he's involved. You didn't care. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that piece, Woodruff. AJ, the mic's on you.
Sincere. Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Am I back? It's up and it's stuck, gang. We outside hugging
100%.
trees, drinking water. All right. How's everybody doing, by the way? Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Spectacular.
Okay, so the piece I'm gonna share is some fresh ink. I wrote it specifically for this space. It's called Grand Theft Autographs. Grand Theft Autographs. So one night in low sentence, Grandma started gang banging on a paragraph, and when the paragraph was covered in ink, the line started to think, you know what? My section is made to pair with graphs. So the graphs grew to gargantuan size, and the lines knew that prescription writing was the path that the doctor prescribed. Prescriptions of benedictions and counter conflictions make the conscription of addiction subsided by a homicide of homilies, when homophones turned antonyms and watched metaphors play monopoly. So possibly the property makes passing go become the odyssey until you bored, walking on boardwalk shockingly to park a place that been parked in place by a prophecy. All of a sudden, the verb becomes the villain when the purge happens on the page that seems to be freedom in the killing, snatching periods from under the exclamation while marking the loss of the point, blank, and blanketed statements made by fabricated fairy tales that taste like gentrified gingerbread houses. Because divorces felt by the generations, especially when the pen and paper are the spouses. When lawyers made to litigate the lines like labyrinths and laboratories, being guilty of grammatical errors while the judges are prosecuting the perfection of the oratory. Being sentenced to a life sentence, or writing my life in sentences, made to run on without punctuation, when commas become comas, so being ill to alliteration makes one feel so enunciated. But lines stopped by the patience, being held back by the commas, make parentheses a home. Those are accommodations. Living in a neighborhood of nouns, violence made by vowels, screaming, A-E, I owe you a ass whooping, is what the vowel said to the consonant, adding value, giving 2 cents to the common sense, and that's $1 in a dream. So who's buying out the screams? I think there's a sale on souls. So does discount as a discount? Who's buying out the streams? When rhetoric turned regime and regime turned reality, that reality was turned virtual. You know, it's all a game until the game theory comes cultural. Cultural beyond the border's grasp. The tour a pass of morbid laugh. I'm stealing silence out of sentences, the holes and halves. Feeling really criminal in intention. So I guess I really am writing a Grand Theft Autograph. Sincerely yours. Peace.
I mean, I feel like it's Christmas, like it's Christmas Eve for me. And I'm about to go to the tree, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of sincere poetry up underneath there. I was giving you the grand introduction, and turned out Woody was next. So excuse me, brother, for that, because she sent the text and said, "Hey, Woody was next, man."
Hey, look,
I
hey, look, I followed divine timing. It was like it wasn't supposed to be me, and my Wi-Fi was telling me so.
Right.
Shout to you, brother Woody.
Absolutely.
That's all good.
Absolutely. Now, I'm a grown man. You know what I mean? I'm a grown man. I feel like a child, because this is the genesis of what introduced me to poetry, was my relationship with the dictionary, and going just on this thing. And to meet a brother on an app like Clubhouse, he does a room on Wednesdays. It's called, what's it called?
Woden's Day, Wednesday wordplay magic.
Woden's Day, Wednesday wordplay magic. And I was in there, and it's a master class. And I've said many times before, if you're gonna learn anything in life, it better be oral communication. Reading, writing, and speaking are the 3 most important tools for survival, to make it in this world at any point. This brother is so cold with it, because not only is he a master of it, but he be playing with it. And then we just sitting back like, what you say? If you talking about the commas and the parentheses and then it's in the accommodation and the pauses, man. Let me pass the mic over to Drea. You already know what's up. That's my bro right there.
Up next to bless our mic again is Carter. Carter, bless our mic.
Thank you again. I've got to say, sincerely, that was very moving. Loved everything about that. Um, for this, so this is one that I don't actually have posted on my Instagram. Um, and you can follow me at arcane.wav. But this one is a poem that I wrote about a chance encounter with a stranger that taught me something. Uh, it was, I was, little context, I was at work and I was kind of like not having a good day. I had kind of fallen out of touch with somebody that I loved. And what ended up happening is I was working behind a bar and this girl came up and we had like a nice small conversation, but sparks were flying, right? And uh, what ended up happening was I gave her my number, hoping that maybe I would see her again, and I never did. But what mattered to me more was the fact that I wasn't having that good of a day, and I was thinking about like there was just like kind of this dread surrounding love and things like that, and she reminded me that you know it's not over for me. It's not, these feelings are not forever. So I wrote a poem about that, and it goes like this: Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Sure, maybe. But what happens when the beauty does not reside in my eye? It lies in yours. The windows of your soul showed me a story. I saw myself on my knees in the center of a tornado, a small patch of emerald grass, my only haven. As wind and smoke and ash whipped around me in a living wall of chaos, you stepped through the veil. And though the vacuum of this cylindrical frenzy was stealing my breath, you were breathless, effortless in the way that you moved. Your stride showed a broken heart being put back together. In what felt like forever, in just a few moments, you were there, your knees on the ground, eyes level with mine. The moment you grasped my hand, the symphony of chaos that swirled around me came to a sudden rest, revealing a beautiful emerald green meadow with rolling hills and a sun I never thought I would see again. And in that moment, even if you disappeared forever, you taught me that I could find love again. Thank you.
I love me a sweet love poem. Thank you so much for that piece. AJ, the mic's
You're
back
welcome.
on you.
That's in my childhood or my teenhood, that was my homework, was seeing somebody, Carter, and saying, "Ooh, I can't wait to whatever," and it never happened. I'll never see her again. That's it. Just you see her on the bus and like, oh, that could be my wifey, or be on the subway, and I just start to writing, and I realized, for me, uh, I was like, am I simping? Or what's going on? What's up, Quaddy? But am I simping or am I just practicing? Because I just felt like it would happen in New York, Atlanta, LA, and I just thought maybe I'm just like Toulouse-Lautrec, where I'm just doing some painting on paper, pretending if that was my wife or if I was able to talk to So when you did that piece, which was a beautiful piece, it just brought me back to that. You just never know. You know what I mean? You thought you were going, sparks were flying, like you said, and then they flew all the way out your face. But what you have is an eternal peace. you got a beautiful piece that many people will be able to be inspired from, like how it triggered me, with my memory. So that was excellent. That was excellent. Next coming up is the Queen Kwani.
I'm back. I'm back. It was just practice, AJ. You was just practicing.
Hundred
That's all
percent.
it was. You ain't no simp.
No, no,
You too
no.
cool for that. You too cool to be
Uh-uh.
simp. You
Never
just
that.
good at what you do.
That's right.
All right, I'm gonna get right into this next piece. I am not from New York, but I feel like when I do my poetry, my alter ego is from New York, though I have never been. But my great grandmother is from Brooklyn, New York, so it's in me. It's in me. So this next piece is called "That New York Love," and you'll see why. Yo, dead ass. I don't want no dead ass friend. Fuck a fake friend, be a friend. Fuck a friend, be like family. Fuck the family, be like Jesus. Now, what would Jesus do? Be like, fuck them. Ignore those calls, dead ass. I don't want no dead ass friends unless they go forgive me like Jesus. I don't want no half ass friends. What, I can't get mad? Nigga, I'm human. Oh, your love comes with conditions? I can't do no wrong? Do I gotta do everything you say? Nah, son, I don't want it. I don't want that kind of pressure. Nigga, you ain't no diamond maker. Yo, dead ass? I don't want no dead ass friends.
How come that couldn't be I need you to make that an hour. That was just what, 1 minute. You need to write that, make that 59 more minutes longer. That need to be a movie. Man.
You never
Oh,
been to New York?
I'm not from New York. Never
You
been.
never
But
been?
my alter ego is. Like the person who writes my poetry is from New York.
Facts.
super facts. Super facts. Kwani.
Queen Kwani, y'all gonna get all of it on August 27th. She gonna bring the house down.
I don't want no dead
Yeah.
ass friend.
Period. Up next to bless our mic again is Woody. Woody, the mic's on you.
All right, this is new material that I'm going to read. My job as a social worker for the county of Los Angeles, I'm always out in the community doing home visits for those, those who are struggling, the elderly, the poor, and those type. And I see a lot of things when I'm out and about. See a lot of things driving, going back and forth to work, from work, when I'm doing the grocery giveaway. So I started writing this series of pieces called The Worst America. So this is one of the pieces, and this is pretty new. So I've never even read this publicly. So this is The Worst America. In this surreal democracy, as they seek fame, with gun in hand, selling terror in clear view, to the mentally ill, giving them a platform. Every day, the innocent suffers in silence. Bullets, bodies, and brutality. More politicians belch out thoughts and prayers. As citizens lay in wait, as children's face is blown off. I view the news with deceit. Spirits rise on a skyline of peace. Their lives cut short, and for what? Conspiracy theories on social media? America, I ask, why are those mass shootings the norm now? This truth is burning, fueling fright. The growing sentiment widens, with shell casings mixed with lines of chalk. America doesn't care anymore, as it lies about being the home of the brave. Where's the freedom in this sickening horror? Cancel all culture, contradict your own. These lies are deemed worthless. No more birthdays, weddings, or retirement. Air smells like gunpowder, searing souls. Refrain. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that piece, Woody. AJ, the mic's back on you.
From Woody to Woden, we getting ready to do Sincerely Yours. Let's go, brother.
All right, let's go. So this piece is called "The Genius in a Basket." Hey, are you hungry? A tisket, a tasket. I put my genius in a basket. I put my genius in a basket made of bow ties with the sweet serenade of soliloquy. So I taste no lies, but I do taste amazement. I taste the satisfaction, and that satisfaction is the reason that a season make food for thought taste like statements. And the statements made to salt and pepper in a little parable until pepper turned paprika, and paprika made paragraphs turn into variables, while variables make a vestige of verses. I'm investing in a vestibule, so I turn vegetable to grow out of the soil and the surface to serve face, because you can't make up the lashes felt by the backs of cosmic cosmetologists. Because when the mask era turns into massacres, the mask era makes for a beaten face group of apologists. Apologies from the mind of a dichotomist turned columnist. It's like school's inside my hands because you can find Columbine inside my wrist. My wrist. Writing turned lethal weapon when feelings made from frag grenades. Because when emotions make explosions, you can really see how the magic's made. Magic made from metaphor. Metaphors made for miracles. And miracles made by the mirrors to give reflections of perfection from the realm of everything that's spiritual. So can you see me looking back at you? Warring with the shadow until the shadow work gets tactical. Because a vacation to the cosmos is like being on a celestial sabbatical, unless lesser views are fractional, and the tether proves mathematical. To measurements into measured sense, since measuring me becomes grammatical. Yes, I become grammatical. I become the grammatical error for this era. You see, I fix terror and turn daydreams into day awake. Like amazing grace to see heaven through my cornea. You know, hell feels like hope, especially when nightmares are giving out euphoria. So package my euphoria in plastic, mold it and cast it, hold it and mask it until you find yourself face to face with the facet. You see, I created a classic and crafted the magic. So which craft makes a magician? You see it? It's clear. I go abracadabra, then make the basket appear. So who wants a basket of forbidden fruit mixed with bitter truths? Because I am the proof of the magic. And it goes, tisket a tasket, I put my genius in a basket. Still want some fruit? Silly us.
Thank you very much. We'll see y'all next week. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
That was great, sincere. I like the musical piece to it, the familiarity of it, and everything. It's just so catchy. I got it.
You know
Beautiful.
all
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
You know all that punchline entendre, the triple entendre. You already know, man. It's. I'm gonna just call you after this. I'm gonna just call you, man. You see what Sarah Stewart? She just gave you three flames, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a great journey so far. I'm very new to the poetry scene. I've only been doing this for about a year and a half now, and the best thing that's happened to me is surrounding myself with people like AJ and other dope artists that continue to help my pen grow and to keep motivating me to just push further and just be willing to be open to change and to new experiences, because I'm experiencing new things every day. So thank y'all. I appreciate it again.
I was in the room the first day he came in. The first day. I didn't know this was your first excursion into it.
Yeah, and you know what? So I heard you say at the beginning, you came here, you were invited here, you felt great, you loved it, and you stayed, you slept it over.
Right,
I kind of felt like, that's I am voice of the voiceless, what I'm saying, on
yeah,
on the nights where we be up until 3 in the morning, and I'm on the East Coast. So
right,
I'm,
right.
we was on Clubhouse, I mean, for literal 5, 8, 10 hours
Yeah,
straight doing
right.
nothing but poetry.
Righteous. Say that. Absolutely. Because you came in with your name, Delavy. And
Yeah,
then everybody had such a tough time saying your name. You came back the next day. I was like, that's the brother with the same profile with that cold wordplay. And then it was sincere. It was like, hey, I ain't gonna try to teach everybody to say my first name. So you came with sincere, and now it's a household word. Yeah, it's this brother here. Yeah, we've done so much stuff together, and he's really important to me because we don't talk every day. We talk like once every 4 months, maybe. To be on the real. But when we do, we talk for 3, 4 hours just to catch up on that 6 months. And when you have somebody that's as impactful and as powerful and so inspirational, you're not gonna have time to talk to folks, of like mind and like fire, because you over there creating for your community and building and tearing down stages where you at. And it's a pleasure to be able to bond and build with you right here live in front of everybody, because everybody's known you and probably seen you other places, IG,
It's my first
Clubhouse.
time ever knowing or seeing Sincere. I never seen him or
So
anything.
welcome.
Queenie, your mic is muted. We can't hear you. Just in case you was trying to talk, I heard
Yeah,
you. No.
yeah,
I don't
but
see you anywhere else, but I'm glad
Well,
I.
all right. So for everybody that's unfamiliar with me, right down there at the bottom, it says sincerely underscore yours. That is my Instagram handle. You can follow me on Instagram, and Instagram will take you to my Facebook, my Clubhouse, and also my TikTok. So you can follow me on all platforms. I'm on the East Coast. I realize y'all on the West Coast. That's one I was just about to say that. AJ, that's one of the things I definitely gotta work on doing, is getting out there and getting out to LA and touching the mic out there.
This is a
Definitely.
one way to start, right?
Yeah,
Have
absolutely.
bring you here, and this is what the Artist Connection is about. It's just connecting the artists, of like-minded people. We always have a good time every Thursday night. We have different poets come here that share their stories and their visions and why they were here. So now it's story time. AJ, you have a question for the poets?
do I have a question for the poets? Yes, I do have a question. Even though I don't, I'm gonna create a question. Queen Quiet, what's happening? Now unmute the mic.
We know you gonna come and give us something. What's the question of the night?
The question of the night is, what is your intention with poetry? Where do you plan to take it? Is it a hobby for you? Is it a business? Is it something that you want to carry off into the future? Or is it something that you're using the network? We'll start with Carter.
Um, I was actually kind of prepared for this question because I didn't know what y'all were going to ask, but this was the one that I thought about before I came on here. What is poetry for me? Poetry for me is an outlet. I go through life like the rest of us do. Poetry. I started doing poetry because um, I had nothing else really at the time. I was at a time where I was losing friends and just kind of trying to find my way. And I'm a musician primarily, or I was a musician primarily, but the songwriting got to be too much. Trying to write chords and progressions and melodies when really all I cared about was the words. So when I went to the poetry lounge that first time and started speaking just lyrics, basically, just the things that I really wanted to say. I realized that I love a stage. I love putting myself out there. And what I really love is taking my pain, my frustration, my anger, my joy, my love, everything, and putting it into poetry form so that whatever it is that I'm going through, I don't have to experience it alone because I have an audience full of people who will understand what it is that I'm going through one way or another. Because what I realized is we all go through the same experiences, not the exact same ones, but they're similar enough where I can tell you about something that I went through and you went through something that made you think about it. Like earlier, when I was talking about, the girl who just kind of like appeared and there was a spark and it was gone, already AJ, was flashing back to a similar experience, and was able to add on to that. And that's what poetry is for me, and that's what I'm going to continue to do for probably the rest of my life.
All right, Queen Kwame.
All right. So poetry to me is also an outlet. I started off writing due to my grandfather passing away. I'm a very quiet, quiet person normally. And when he passed, I didn't talk. I didn't know what to say. And so I just started writing how I felt. And that was my way of expressing everything that was going on. Like even though I couldn't say it, I could write it. And then everybody around me kind of felt the same way. And it just grew into what it is now. Like now I have a book coming out. I hope to take what started off as just an outlet into a brand, into another source of income, into something that I can live with and it be a good thing in my life. It has always been. Now it's profitable at the same time, so that's just a blessing. But
All right.
originally, poetry has just always been my outlet. It's how I get through things, just writing it out.
Word, word. Well, Brother Woody.
Poetry for me is like is part of my life thesis. I'm a documenter. So my original statement when I first started is I speak for those who have no voice or choice in society. So when you think about the homeless, the mentally ill, those who are struggling that you see out in your communities, out in other communities, who's speaking for them? So I write for as I'm speaking to them and speaking for them. So my outlet is part of a larger narrative of creative writing, which I'm working on a Master of Fine Arts in now. So I want to once I finish that and retire from the county, I want to expand this whole narrative. I don't know if I'm going to work on a press or do those type of things, but I have several things that I want to do, like taking. I did this last year. I think Miss Andrea might have saw this piece. I did a piece called "The Interview" where I did 21 smaller poems in 15 minutes. And it was about a homeless person and his struggle, why he's homeless. Because that's always the question everyone asks. Why are they homeless? How come they don't have a job? They throw all those narratives out at these people, but you don't know their backstory. And so this is where my work goes to. This is what Freedom talks about. The book Freedom talks about. A lot of the poets in 1619 speak about these points moving forward. Other material that I have ready to probably publish now, but I'm going to wait until after I finish this program. It speaks about those that have no voice or choice, because we all have voices and choices on this platform right now, and those that are listening on the streaming service. But the person laying out on the street, there's a person I see on King Boulevard in Vermont every morning when I go to work. a Caucasian woman that is just laying on the ground in front of a bus bench. She's covered up. If you didn't know any better, she looks like a bag of trash. And I see that every morning because I read every day and write every day. I write a piece every morning at work before my first 30 minutes. I'm writing something. Something is got, and it's just what I've said. What I call them is creative thunderstorms. They hit every day. That's how I got started writing. Sitting at work, I just had a bad experience with somebody I was trying to help, and I wrote 6 lines about it. Put it on a sheet of paper. Those sheets of paper start growing. Then I started putting it into a journal. Got into the journal. Got it to a program. Got to the book. So the stages of life right there. Like I said, this is a life thesis for me. You know, There's an old saying is you have your day you're born and the day you die. What did you do in the middle of it? What happened between those two dots? So that's kind of how I operate.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Sincerely, yours.
Oh, am I on? Okay. Poetry for me, I guess I'm gonna start off by saying, I want to be the greatest magician since Moses. Um, I see, I see words as spells, so I'm constantly, constructing different, uh, different elements in my book all the time, and I consider myself an epistemologist. That's somebody who studies knowledge. So I'm constantly researching and studying and just trying to get to the deeper meanings of things. And that is what tends to drive my poetry. Um, I love, I have a very close relationship with words. Um, Etymology is one of the things that interests me greatly. So once I learned it and got it all down, I now teach etymology. But poetry in itself, for me, is just about the magic. I got a saying, make my melanin move. I feel like, with melanin being intelligent and actually having the capacity to move. I feel like when we stand and we speak words, when words are spoken, uh, that's magic in itself. To craft words on a page and then to uh, recite them, and to enchant an audience while you're doing so. Um, I think that's one of the greatest forms of magic that you can see right in front of your face. So for me, poetry is magic, and I just want to be the Harry Potter of poetry.
That's dope. That's dope. That's bomb. Uh, Miss Drea,
Yes,
what is
sir.
poetry for you?
For me, poetry was first an outlet. I have a lot of poets in my family. First, my dad, my sisters, and I used to be like shy, so I used to like Shaquan write everything down. I really didn't. Well, I didn't have much. I didn't make friends. People made friends with me. Like I really didn't care about that. I was just like a loner, my whole life. So I would write things and everything I saw. And when I love to read, I used to have like this large library of books, and I was like, oh, I wanted to write a book. I want to be a writer, but it wasn't like certain things. I read everything. I just tried to make sure I filled my life with just reading, and in reading, I just pictured it like a movie, and I'm like, I could do this. So I used to keep a lot of the writings to myself because it was personal, to me. So when I got older, we started this Facebook page where we just write poetry back and forth. But then people start stealing your words and stealing your poetry. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I found, a community of writers. I found my favorite people or poets and writers. Los Angeles Poet Society, they just make you feel so welcome, and it's like home and a culture. And it's not about race or color, it's about the words and building a community, right? And I always want to be somewhere where I feel comfortable. And I was just telling somebody the other day, it doesn't matter what color you are, what race you are. I know who I am. So wherever I'm standing, it could be 100, 1,000 white people, Hispanic people, I'm going to be comfortable with me. And I talk to everybody and try to build community. And I just wanted to grow into something bigger. So that's why I try to like support people, sponsor them if they need that sponsorship, show up for people. And then I started a publishing press because for me, I feel like why are you giving 50% of your talent to somebody when you are the talent? So what are they doing for this? So I just wanted to change the whole way that it is to give people that are really talented a bigger chance, right? So I feel like a lot of people in poetry, they don't get like that boost up or that chance. It's like, okay, you just come here, you do this, you go to school, you get this, and that's it, and then they forget about you. That's why for me, I want to start the Artist Connection to promote people, for us to have these conversations and for people to hear that. And everybody's welcome. I don't care what color, what race, what language you speak, everybody is welcome here, just building that community of friendship. The only thing that separate us is our mindset, right? And we can change that one person at a time. And I just love community. All my jobs has been community work, social services, giving back to my community, nonprofits, and things like that. So I just want to continue that work on my own and just do it my way because I really don't like rules. So just connecting with great like-minded people like you all. I have really learned a lot from Kwani. I learned a lot from AJ, and just sharing that and not being the holder of talents or gift or information. I think information is powerful, and I think we need to share that information, because just because I learned something, it might not be for me. I saw this, so it might be for you. So I'm giving it to you to give you a hand up, right? Not a handout. So it's just a beautiful thing, just poetry and making it grow and having something to have a legacy behind it. And that's why I named my platform Writing Journey 101, because my journey, is ongoing and it's after 100. So it's 101 because it continues to go beyond that. So, AJ.
So you don't, okay, yes, I'm not finished. So you don't like rules and you like to give back to the community. All of us know that you are a chef, a communicator, you work in social service, you are just a wonderful, wonderful woman. And since you don't like rules and you like to give back to the community, guess what you about to do?
A poem.
100%.
I already had one ready, but I didn't know which one I was going to do. The one I was going to do is kind of inappropriate, and Woody's here, and I don't want to do that poem while Woody's So I'm going to save that poem for next time. But I have a few pieces that I wrote. This one, where is up? I was going to read a love poem. That's my favorite poetry to read. But I wrote this poem the other day, and it is. I don't know why. AJ, could you answer the question first before, so I could find my poem?
Sure. I love poetry. Thank you.
No.
Back to you.
What's answer the whole question like we did?
What was the question? I forgot it.
The
What?
This
I
man
was
is really just like not playing ball at all.
Yes.
What was the
Come on,
question?
AJ.
Nah.
I
You
asked
know
the question. What was the question? The question was for y'all. It wasn't for me.
What does poetry mean to you? Or was that the question? What is poetry for you?
Poetry means uh, education. I'm a homeschooler. I was homeschooled. I skipped second and fourth grade. My Bible was the dictionary. So I love words like I love my mama, like I love my children because understanding the root and the origin of where things derive, not from just Latin, not from Greek, but from the motherland, even, and having to depict and decrypt and to decode the symbols that were representing the words and the actions for us. So everything is poetry, just like everything is mathematical. And I love poetry. I love the words, and this is a business for me. It's a pleasure for me. They say, uh, if you're doing something that you love, it ain't work. So it's easy for me, and writing poetry every day, like Woody said. Um, Elo, wow for that. Hey man, don't be interrupting me with that comedy, Elo. Come on, man. No, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna cut myself off and say, you know what? Woody might like it. Hey, come on, deliver it. Come
I'm
on,
gonna do
Woody might.
intoxicating soul elixir. That's the
Oh,
poem I'm gonna do.
Hmm.
Okay. Let me mute the microphone.
Okay. Her beauty fiercely beholds eyes, pierce your core. She won't just captivate your mind, she will intoxicate your soul. Granted to induce love, the hypnotic substance, believed to maintain life indefinitely. Her love is the source of eternal life and fulfillment. She is an irresistible, captivating figure who embodies love and allure, leaving a lasting impression on all who encounter her. Her presence gleams with pure delight. She weaves her words a mystic art to stir the depths of every heart. Her laughter rings like bells that chime, a melody that transcends time. Her soul, a potion, magic rare. It soothes the wounds of past hurt like liquid gold. A river song,
Mm.
she wraps around you, warm and tight, and fills your spirit. She's not just wine to be teased by the lip, but something more, a potent sip. She'll intoxicate your very core. Her essence leaves you craving for more. So let her in, embrace the trance. In every moment, take a chance to savor all she has to give. And in her love, you will forever live. She possesses an almost unworldly charm that captivates not just the mind, but also the soul. Her presence is descended as a source of pure delight, capable of stirring depth emotions with every heart, the overwhelming allure of her words and affection. The language she uses is rich and evocative, creating an atmosphere of allure and fascination. Her poetic disposition paints a vivid image of a memorizing and mesmerizing and enchanting individual. Refer to her as the intoxicating soul elixir. And that's my piece.
Yeah. That's it right there.
I tasted good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought you were gonna do soul snatching.
No, that soul snatcher is it's not a, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. Woody might like it, you know?
No, it's a little bit. Yeah, I don't know.
It's really inappropriate.
Yo, that liquid gold line was everything. That liquid gold line hit different.
For sure.
Thank you. Thank
For
you.
sure.
I wrote that the other day. And then I wrote Snow Soul Snatcher, the one that AJ is talking about. It's a little snippet of it on my Instagram, but not the whole
Yeah,
entire thing.
it might have been inappropriate for me too. Blew my mind. That's what you writing like that?
Yeah, very inappropriate for this.
Yeah, sure, sure.
AJ, your turn.
My time. um, so like Brother Woody said, I'm writing once a day. This is a project, an annual project. I'm doing it for 366 days. And right now I'm on a piece 124. So from 1 to 122, which was the first third that ended a couple of days ago, it was all about dedication, paying honor and homage to those like Jim Brown, Tina Turner recently, Harry Belafonte, um, talking about, as Carter was saying, those uh, flash glances, that love, that type of thing. So from 123 to 244, it ain't really no love that I'm gonna be talking about. If somebody died, they just die. Because the second third is about calling to arms the things that I notice and the things that we experience that we need some work on as a people. And it's going to be, live poetry. So this is 124 of 366. It's called All Lies on We. To those who pose he sold his soul, usually have no nuts to hold. Said nuts are tucked under another's control. Bitch ass mannequins are flash frozen cold, no lies told. See fucking him? When? Yeah, I saw you follow each other, unfollow, then follow again. You shaking your ass on OnlyFans, you ain't gonna never get a man. Who won the lottery? What they look like? They black or white? Oh, you know what she gonna do with that. Is he worth 300 million in this contract? Let's talk about that. How genius the collective, the internet is subject to such intellectual perspective. No lies told. They undefeated. Peep the view count, high off somebody's downfall. Go ahead and read it. Something looks off. He wasn't himself. I couldn't put my finger on it. Oh shit, it's easy to see she cheated. The pitfalls are handcuffing low value draws and putting a ring on it. Popular opinion means we have the means to be mean. The end justifies where ends meet. We at the stake. Ben juicy, slicing pride with a side of curly fries. No lies told. But what would transpire if the collective group sought to inspire, encourage? Would humanity flourish or still perish? Any vision beyond a baby or cute animal we cherish. But when that baby grows, there the criticism blows. This is where the bullying shows. Y'all don't really give a fuck. Who cares when we all wilding off a trial and error? You figure we getting fucked under duress and pressure, having not, getting got, marked up, stressed on your lesser. So let me pasar mi dia. Broad daylighting is a social oppressor. Psychology removed from astrology, we all cancers with zero apology. Third degree burns. Gossip is gospel. The Bible book is ghost written because thumbs hitting on shit not of your concern. No lies told. We reverse engineering the cheerleading. The entitlement is vital. This speech ain't free though. It's a clone signature found by other lost people. So quick to call a nigga a king and a bitch a queen, we shirk defying and outlining what it is to be regal. The wagon is banded, woodworking and open handed. We need as we bleed. Comments threaded in knots, knots caught up in the thread of what another got. Code in mind to insult, a culture to cancel is a sin cult. Ain't nobody holier than thou. Perfection falls short on everyone you see. Next time you think you the paragon of virtue, please believe the truth shall set free. despite it being all lies. On we.
See, that's gonna be the anthem.
It's charged with so much political alliteration, and it speaks on what's going on in our society right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our society is mixed metaphors. You know, where's the truth in all of this stuff that's going on? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Where's the truth? It's like the truth is a mistress that you can't find. She left.
Right,
Yeah,
right. You
Hey
exactly.
look.
yo, hey AJ.
Yes,
So
sir.
do you remember that show, Ghostwriter?
Yeah,
Do you remember that? You remember that show?
yeah.
Hey, you wild for that punchline. You wild for that bar. You wild for that ball. I'm not just going. You're not just gonna walk past that. You wild for that ball.
Ooh. If nobody, you gonna catch it. 100%. If
You know,
nobody, you gonna catch it.
I gotta say, one of the things that I think about when it comes to society and the things um, that we don't really see a lot of, it's integrity. And I feel like you are grasping onto that, like how we see integrity, like politically and in pop culture and things like that. You know, there is something beautiful and unfortunately rare about authenticity, um, that we don't see enough in people, especially people who have power, whether that be celebrities or government officials and things like that. So, you know, I think that's a very beautiful observation on the state of the world.
It's a
Yeah,
trip. It's a trip how masterful we are collectively to humiliate people. You know how quickly when somebody gets knocked out in sports and then you see these
Hmm.
memes and they're so funny. So even if you're not even into boxing, somebody is making something with masterful editing, just
Yeah.
to humiliate that human. Or when it comes to somebody having a downfall, it's a massive revolution of humiliation. And I thought we're addicted to tearing somebody down.
Yes.
exactly.
We
Yeah.
bear the addiction collectively. And
The
there's so much.
abused have become abusers.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Exactly.
It's amazing. It's amazing,
I
man.
have a request. Queen Kwani, can you do the poem about the boyfriend and the baby? You muted.
The boyfriend and the baby.
Hmm.
Damn. Okay. Yep, okay. It's in here. Hold on, let me find it.
And then Carter, can you do the poem that you wrote on the spot at the Black House next?
You know what? Yeah, I'll definitely do that one.
Um, is it Carter before me?
You going now?
Okay, I'm looking for the poem.
It's
I'm
your
looking.
time. It's your time right now, Queen Kwani.
Yeah.
She's like, I ain't ready. Hold on.
You got to be ready, Quana. You already know me. You act like you don't know who I am.
I was going to the poem, and now I gotta search for the requested poem. It's
Mm.
Keep
coming.
that other one in the queue. We might have a little time.
You see what Elu said? He said straight cutthroat. Queen.
It's coming. It's coming because it's in here. Well, it probably would have been easier in my actual book. I'm on the computer. Oh, here it go, right here. She's
All
having
right. We
your
know
There
you.
we go.
Boom. Here we
Go.
go.
Let's
Let's
hear
get
it.
it.
Why she want to hurt my heart right now?
It's not hurting no more. We healed. That's why you
You
wrote.
right. That's right.
Yes.
We healed. Fuck that bitch. Okay. Anyway.
Out here.
She's having your baby. And it took everything that I had inside not to die that day, but I died that day. Laid in bed and could not move for 3 days, couldn't breathe for weeks. Those words damn near killed me. She's having your baby. She told me. And I tried to say I was fine. I was going to be okay. Heart all choked up. You and her, and she knew how I felt. The love I had for you. She was my friend. Play cousin. You were my best friend. My whole world. The one I run to, and she's having your baby. The baby I didn't want to conceive. Don't baby mama me. I wanted to spend my life with you without the complications. But she's having your baby. Had your baby. Said she's sorry she hurt me. Knew this would hurt me. Choosing life over my heart, a heart cold, and I don't want to hear see it. I missed the first steps. Denial. I heard she was having your baby. I love her. I loved you. Not together. Wipe tears from being torn up on what we are now. I guess she wanted to know what that pain felt like to be loved by you. Only she's having your baby. Something God wouldn't do. Baby. I closed my eyes and deleted everybody attached that will pull up an image of this child that I'd rather pretend doesn't exist. My mama said, y'all not my friend. He don't love you. She don't love you. And this time I put up no argument. How I'm going to compete with a baby. Now lay me down to sleep and wake me. Better yet, don't wake me. She's having your baby. Boy, you gotta be.
Mm. Mm. Come on now.
I took out the line when I said I'm gonna slap that bitch when I see her, but that's
Hey. Okay, that's what it was missing. There we go.
That's what it was missing.
And you know
There's
she
some
healed 'cause
authenticity right there.
she not on the episode of Snapped, so she healed.
Mm.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. That's a conversation for another episode, right? Thank you, Queen Kwani. Always dropping truth in poetry form. Beautiful, beautiful. Carter, the mic's on you.
All right. So there is this whole thing about being a hopeless romantic. And I feel like that's something that probably a lot of us can relate to in poetry, because who better to be hopeless romantics than poets who write about it all the time. So while I was waiting to go up for the open mic, frantically writing, trying to bring something new, I thought about that and how I came from a place of being that, and I thought it was wrong. So I wrote a piece and presented it, and it goes like this. They call me a hopeless romantic. Can you believe that? Hopeless. My response is typically a four-letter word ending in "you." How obscene to think that I chase unredeemable dreams. It seems to me that the knowledge imparted to me by the brokenhearted regards me as hard-headed. And yet I say, your heart is only broken once you give up hoping. You see, my heart isn't broken. It's been beaten, bruised, battered, berated, lacerated, dated, and waited on broken promises, but never broken. How come we view hope as only having to do with the outcome? How come men are the only ones I seem to get doubt from? How dumb can you be to see your weakness as something you can outrun? Not a hope in your heart. Let's see you be a romantic without one. You can't, because your plan is to fuck bitches and then complain that you can't get your hands around someone that will stay. The proper term is hopeful romantic. Okay? Hopeful romantic, and calling me anything less will earn you a finger followed by 4 right to the chin, because the true sin is insulting my integrity with your senseless jealousy. So while you're sitting there laughing at me with your heart torn apart, just remember that your jaw can still be met with penalty. If it were hopeless, I wouldn't be romantic, wouldn't get up to these antics if every rejection had me in a panic. And by the way, the heart is a muscle. It does not break, it is torn, which, as we all know, leaves room for bigger muscles to be reborn. Thank you.
Okay, Thunder.
What?
You should have been there. We were sitting there and he was like,
Oh.
okay, let me write a piece. He had his book and he just wrote it and he got up there. I'm like,
And and I remember when I came off the stage, Karima came up to me and he was like, "You just wrote that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Man, fuck you."
AJ, the mic's on you.
Yeah, man. Sincere, show that notebook, man. No. Lift that notebook up. Let us see that. I want you to see the page count. Oh, I thought you had one of your 500 pagers. How many pages is that?
Your mic is off.
I gotta get the mic up.
That's a new notebook. These are so. This one has 80. This one has 80 sheets. That's filled. This one has 200. That's filled. This one has 240. That's done.
That's done. Yeah.
This has 240 also. It's actually the same kind of notebook. That's done. This has 200 pages. That's done.
Yeah.
This one,
The master writer.
I don't know how many pages this one has, but this one is almost done. This one only has about that much left.
I'm so jealous.
So
I've never been able to finish one in my entire life. Like finish a whole journal.
And this one is the one where like all of the poetry gets like transcribed from all of these books into this one.
Mm.
Man, that's a writing journey 101 right there.
Yes. We have to sign you.
Hey, and you want? Here's what's crazy. That's all from Clubhouse. That's all been written in the last year and a half.
Damn.
Right. Because you write pen to pad, pen to paper. Mm-hmm. I don't have any clue estimating how many poems I wrote in Clubhouse. I didn't even keep track because it has to be right there with you. At least 5, 6, 7, 800 pieces just in there alone. And half of those were freestyles up in Himalayan Soul, you know. So man, when you look at when you think about a prolific writer, you're looking right there. You know, it's amazing. Now, I have a request. There's a piece that you did that seemed to be, it's kind of a new hot favorite because I'm hearing you do it a lot because you debut that singing. You know, you wasn't singing in your poetry before, so this one, I guess, since the ladies probably go crazy over this, I want you to deliver this so Queen Kwani and Drea could hear it because I rarely hear the same poem twice from you. And I've been hearing this one a couple times, and you have, and I heard it last week, or maybe it was a few days ago during the that battle.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm
So
talking about. Blast it.
yeah. So, all right. This piece is called "Can You Tell Me." Say you don't know what love is if you don't sit down and write. Say you don't know what love is if you don't sit down and write. So, can you tell me why I just decided to sit and write some kryptonite? Because I'm writing Superman and until my pen take flight. Because this is laser focus and heat vision, because I see inside. I mean, deep inside. That's why my behavior chosen to see different. So I cry tears to turn my seven C's, you know. So I guess I see different. Like even when I wave goodbye at the passing current and I say hello to horizon setting on the sine wave serpent. Oh yeah, the sine waves serpent. Because who said sea monsters didn't exist? Whoever said it, it's a lie. You see, a monster's ink pen is what happens when I release the kraken in my wrist. Release the kraken. You hear the kraken in my wrist? So now I gotta put a cast on to cast out, like cast off, because I'm willing to play Wilson. Left, bloody, my printed hands that were stranded by a crash that left me only survivor to a split personality. It was like a prison to pretend. Or am I just personifying reality? Well, I guess only TMZ could tell me, because nowadays it ain't about loving yourself, it's about taking a selfie. So before I dare and ask the perfect question to ask, that's healthy, I gotta ask I and myself to help me. So can you tell me if me, myself, and I group invest in balance when my stock rise, can I go from rich to being wealthy? And can you tell me what lies beneath truth prior to speaking proof? And can you tell me how many foundations laid broken from understanding, walking, overstanding with no roof? And can you tell me the time it takes to intertwine with fate in a silent space while drinking a deluge of dreams that my mind creates? And can you tell me that parallel universes don't usually work in no certain theater play, game of life with closed curtains and no circuits? So can you picture that? A matrix with no circuits? Because I'm universal without the rehearsal. You see, I'm really the main attraction at my soul's circus. You see? So can you tell me, was it all easy to see? And can you tell me if this whole time, if you realized that I wasn't talking to the you and you, I was speaking to the me and me. So can you tell me? Nah, what can you tell me that I can't tell myself? Cause you don't know what love is if you don't sit down and write. Say you don't know what love is if you don't sit down and write. Because love is writing. And I love myself. So in my best Kanye voice, you can't tell me nothing. Sincerely yours. Peace.
That's it. That's the one that wins all the competitions.
Hey yo, AJ, listen, man. You can't keep telling people about that. That's the thing. When you out, that's the thing. That's the one when you know what I'm saying? You just telling all my secrets and shit.
But we saw your secrets. Your secrets were about 1,000 pages worth.
Mm.
Yeah, he showed one secret and is like, man, don't be sharing my secrets. This guy's got 999 other secrets.
Right. And the
But
poem
the
ain't
poem ain't
one.
one. But the poem ain't one.
And a part one.
Woodrow, do you have any love poems?
That's it.
Do I have any love poems? I do, but you know how I kind of roll. I can go grab one. I got
Well,
some.
I have after you do your poem, so do it's the mic's on you. Then I have a request from everybody have to participate in this request after you do your poem.
You want me to do? I got another one that I wanted to do, and this is a few days ago. Last week they signed in. President Biden signed monuments for Emmett Till, and his mother in 3 places. The place where they found his body in Mississippi, they kept tearing the sign down. So now they have it where it's indestructible. The courtroom and the church where he was buried. So I wrote this piece. This piece is in my book, Freedom. So it was already there because you'll see the parallel when I do it on how this is going to work. So this one's called Freedom's Freedom. My pop was born in 1941, the same year as Emmett Till. His uncle lived in Chicago as he was raised in Louisiana. What if my grandfather sent him to Chicago in the summer of 1955? What if he saw the demon who lied on the innocent? What if the unspeakable horror befell on my pop? There's no me, any of my siblings, or my children. As we continue to be a race that suffer with these atrocities, as an experiment in the human narrative, when does it end? After countless souls are executed as a modern form of lynching, lifeless goals wash away in an ignorance of ignorance. How much can a persecuted psyche take? Why do mothers have to bury their children every day? What happens if we rebel, stand up, or speak out as they did? We know the answer, and we know not to ask that question, period. If you have to ask without an answer, you're part of the problem. Unconsciously, you do not see what you want to believe or understand. How many times must this twilight zone come on for you? As art imitates life with no channel needed. Who is supreme over whom? A race that enslaves another? What supremacy is not allowed that a race will recover from it? This apocalyptic atmosphere, that's their story, not ours to tell. The senselessness of announcing you're better. For what? It stands to reason as you lied, cheated, killed, and stolen. Now you feel that you can overthrow democracy, emboldened. You have no intent on ending this chaos. It hangs around your neck like an albatross. Our heroes knew what bridges to cross. Freedom's freedom.
All right, you guys ready for? Thank you so much for that important piece. Your book is very valuable to our community.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you guys ready for my request?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Lay it on me.
Don't punish me if the phone cuts off. I think I'm down to like 6%.
Okay, AJ, where'd you go?
Oh no, he's gone. Oh, there we go.
My request is that Carter, Queen Kwani, sincerely, you guys got the voices right. We all got love poems. So we each do a bar from our favorite love poem, and you guys do yours and sing a little melody. It's a collective piece that we go put together real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so I think AJ should go first. We're gonna go AJ, Kwani, Carter, me, Sincere, Woodrow, and then Kwani ended. Let's go.
So what kind of is this supposed to be a love poem? Like
Yeah.
one of the lines in it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta choose something.
They
They're gonna do that.
Sincere.
Sincere, she gonna ask me to find out to choose one of the 500 love poems. Overcast, liquid cloud shroud over ass. Who's next?
Y'all gotta be on point. So okay, let's do it over. You gotta start over. So it's gonna be AJ, Queen Kwani, Carter, Sincere, Woody, me, and then it's gonna go back to Queen Kwani. But then it's gonna go back with Queen Kwani, Carter, and Sincere. Y'all sing a piece. All right, let's go.
My native tongue is too foreign and too tough a task to translate into the anguish you speak. I freak. For 7 days, 24 hours you weep and plead for me to autograph your sheet with a sharp magic marker filled with vanilla ink. Thawed ice melts into the water in which you wade, and I douse my ballpoint tip to write my first, last, and middle name across your hips. So every time you open your mouth, you feel my lips pounding pressure in your spot. Heart throbbing, trifling, rifle, double barrel cocking, just like the movies, and I'm staring straight at you, like the snitch that put me on lock. You that buy the good book, soft look trainee, and I'm the shit talking dirty cop. Who's next?
Carter,
Just like fire was meant to
go.
burn substance back to dust, I was meant to love you. My love be like a diamond in the rough, made to sustain the heat and the pressure, but what will become of it will be more worth than diamonds, worth more than life itself.
Carter,
I didn't know I wasn't breathing until you put the air in my lungs. I had mastered the art of holding my breath right before disaster, but at some point when you hold it for too long, your heart actually starts to beat faster. You start to panic, thoughts scatter, the lack of oxygen makes you delusional, makes you think that the only thing that mattered in her voice was her laughter and not the contents of the fights that came after. I've dated great actors who acted like I didn't matter. Hearing your voice was like a breath of fresh air, and not because it was a sound so sweet. No, the most important part was how it spoke from your heart.
Woodrow,
You will not come with me so I can evaluate the misery. As a dreamer, you left your heart at your feet. I understand your patience. You will never answer. Did I disturb that loud sound in your conscience? I tried to find a medium to build a barrier. You are head and shoulders above reproach. No flight can solve this empty space. Why would you come and leave our world? Would you still be there? I hope you can get away from the past. Living is no easy plan or cash. Those clouds and tears are ready to rain. The emptiness should leave a stain. I'm running above these final steps. You'll never know my feet hit the ground. That cliche going the extra mile didn't equate to one indifferent step. I can't count anymore. I can't live for anyone. I can't believe in you.
our lips collide, and with every breath it ignites my soul, travels through my bones. I'm addicted to the sound of your voice that breathes oxygen into my lungs. Fixated on the touch of your fingertips that pierce my soul, caresses the interior of my heart. Your words give me life, like blood that froze through my veins, penetrate my mouth with truth. Queen Kwani.
Always rise on the east and set on the west. Will always love you. Stars are jealous of the way that I gaze into your eyes, at the way light in them. How I want to be where you are, wherever you are, no matter how far, no matter how cold the weather may be. With all the stars around me, it's you I long for. You I look to like I do the sun, the moon, and the stars for guidance, for love. My
Carter, a little song.
Other eyes smile tenderly, still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, oh Georgia, no peace I'd find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Kwani, a song.
Wasn't prepared for a song.
What about sincere? Sincere
Sincere
next.
gonna go next. Okay, go Sincere, and then Kwani closes out with the song.
Um, uh, okay.
Any love song.
Lately you've been questioning if I still see you the same way. 'Cause through these trying years, we on a physically change. And don't you know you'll always be the most beautiful woman I know? So even when you get on my last nerve, I couldn't see myself being with another girl. I love you when your hair turns gray, and I still want you when you gain a little weight. The way I feel for you will always be the same, just as long as your love don't change.
Queen Kwani.
This is called This Could Be Our Love Song, original song that's in the book that you can read as a poem. I want to touch, fuck, feel you, and want you to day triumph. Hold me close, don't let me go. I'm about to come over. I would really like to take it all the way. Feel you deep inside me, let me write you and switch balls. Don't stop, 'cause this could be our love song. Now come make love to me. You can say I need ya, I just wanna please ya, then switch balls. Don't stop.
Hey.
Oh, we're great. Don't log off, guys. Stay on after the credits roll. Any closing words, AJ?
It's been a wonderful night, as has every Thursday. Let's just keep it going. Let's stay consistent. Let's continue to create the space and bring everybody in here because it's all love. It's appreciation. It's non-competitive, and it's all about us showing love to each other, connecting, building. Because without the build, we're not going to be as strong as we could be collectively. So
Solid as a rock. Yeah.
that's right. Solid as a rock. Sure enough.
Thank you all for joining us. You guys were amazing, such beautiful talent. You guys are always welcome back to our platform. Everybody out there watching, please like, share, and subscribe. All our guests stay on. Don't log off. A Q. You can.